If you're on a spiritual awakening journey and you catastrophize a little bit every now and then, this is going to be for you. We're going to talk about an Akashic record reading that I just did with a client. I was explaining to her that when we're in the middle of a quantum jump, oftentimes our inner children and our past versions get very nervous and they start throwing up self-limiting beliefs and doubts and fears and worries because they are afraid of what the new timeline is going to look like. Even though it's probably a million times better over there, if you have abandonment and trust wounds, oftentimes it's difficult to take leaps of faith on self because all these people let you down, and the greatest damage that you could cause to yourself is letting yourself down. And so you'll keep yourself in this perpetual state, like in the void, because we're worried about unknown variables taking those leaps into a new timeline. And so I was saying that this is the optimal time for you to become the new higher self, because we can look back at our inner children and past versions and say, hey, I know that that's scary over there, but you're going to have to trust me just like you have our whole entire life journey, and I'm going to hold your hands and I'm validating your feelings and emotions because those are real because of trauma things that happen to us. But let me show you this new magical life that we can move into. What we don't want to do is attach to the fear paradigms, but we still want to validate and honor our inner children and past versions feelings. And so this is what I like to do, called the what ifs. So I want you to sit down with your inner children and your past versions, and I want you to ask them, what is the worst case scenario things that could happen? Don't try and edit it. Let them freely talk and just make a list. Get out a sheet of paper, okay, and write down all of the things. That's the opportunity for you to come in as a higher self and look at those beliefs and say, hey, some of these are not true. And this is evidence as to why we are not in those old realities that we used to be. Or if it's a scary what if and they don't know what's going to happen, tell them what you would do if that thing happened. If you have abandonment and trust wounds as an inner child, they need to feel safe and secure. And they need that from a guardian protective figure. That's you as a higher self. And so when you come in and say, hey, if these things had happened, here is the plan, that takes so much pressure off of them. And it shows them that you're the higher self, you're the responsible one, you're the adult, let you handle it so they can be in their creative fun and joy and magic and whimsy and not take on all that responsibility. And it puts a lot of faith and trust in you as the higher self. And then when you're going through your day-to-day and those things are blipping up, popping up, you can say, hey, we talked about that. Remember, if this happens, then this, or this self-limiting belief is not true because of this evidence-based reason. This is something that is a muscle that you build. This is you becoming an even more observer of your observant thoughts. Okay, this is you getting on the higher observation deck of your life and higher states of consciousness and healing your inner children and past versions and them seeing you as the leader, the guide, the sage, if you will. And then you all moving on to the new timeline together because they feel more safe and secure and have a better foundation. I'd love to hear in the comments if this resonated with you, if you're going to try this exercise. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments as well.